Theo,
Yes?
you know DNA?
Intimately.
Well, a little while back,
Yep.
someone asked me quite a good question. They said, what actually is DNA?
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of explained it a bit, but it made me think. It's easy to talk about DNA as being the code of life and what genes are made of, and that it's made of letters that join together and stuff like that. But it can actually be quite easy to forget that it's actual stuff that's actually there.
I think I know what you mean, because you never see it in real life. It's kind of mysterious, right?
Yeah, so I was wondering if there's any way people could actually see real DNA and like look at it and pick it up.
It's
and...
funny you should mention that. I've just found an experiment we could do. Well, you could do. To get the DNA out of a kiwi fruit. It's pretty easy, really. But it does involve some waiting around.
That's okay, there's plenty of stuff people can do while they wait for things. They could write a poem or something. Come on, let's do this.
Okay?
You just need to tell me exactly what to do.
Okay then. Take me to the kitchen.
Okie dokie. There you go then.
Right. First, you'll need to collect the things you need to use. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Firstly, a kiwi fruit. An onion would also work.
Check.
A sharp knife and chopping board to chop it up.
Check and check.
Some bowls and jars.
Check, check, check. Check.
Some salt, washing up liquid, and hot water from the tap.
Check. Check. And I'll get the water when I need
A
it.
teaspoon, a tablespoon, and a sieve.
Check. Check. And check.
Finally, some form of alcohol-based spirits. Depending on what sort of a household you live in, you could use any of the following 3 options. Either surgical spirits from the medicine cupboard, or methylated spirits from the DIY cupboard, or if all else fails, you could use white rum from the drinks cupboard. I know which one you'll go for, Nathan.
You know me too well. Methylated spirits it is.
Okay, but be careful because these spirits catch fire very easily.
Yes, that's a good point. So don't do this too close to a stove, birthday cake, cigarettes, anything that could set it alight. No, big no.
Here, absolutely. Finally, you'll need some form of clock or timer and something to do for about half an hour. If you really can't think of anything, there's a link to a word search and colouring in sheet on my Facebook page or in the YouTube description. Okay, I think we're ready to go then.
Okay.
First of all, chop up the kiwi fruit into little bits.
There we go. I'll just chop it all up.
And then put the bits into a bowl. Next, add some washing up liquid. Not too much, but enough so that it coats all the bits of the kiwi fruit when you stir it in.
That should do the trick.
Add half a teaspoon of salt, and then 2 tablespoons of cold water.
Half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, so I've added my salt and water, and now it looks a little bit like this.
Stir the mixture very gently and carefully to avoid making too many bubbles with the washing up liquid.
So now you want me to stir it with a spoon, yeah? Okay. Very gently.
Sit this bowl in a bowl of warm tap water for 10 minutes to incubate the reaction.
Okay, so I'll go and fill my ice cream tub with some hot water. So I've got my hot water in here, and I'm just going to sit this in there. It's going to float actually in this, but that should be alright. Fingers crossed. So now that's just got to sit there for 10 minutes. Time machine. Okay, it's been 10 minutes now. How's it looking? Yeah, you can kind of see, I don't know how well it shows up on camera really, but it looks more kind of gloopy and soupy. So what next then, Theo?
Now carefully use the sieve to separate the solid bits from the liquid.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep the liquid, so collect it in another bowl and then pour it into a glass jar.
So now all the lumps and bits of skin and seeds are all staying on the top of the sieve, and the liquid has poured through. So I've got to pour the liquid into a jar. Okay. I'm going to take these out of the way now. So this liquid I'm now putting into this jar. Actually, I'm not going to put all the foam in.
Scrape off any foam and floaty bits from the top with a spoon.
Okay, so any bits that have gone through, don't have to worry about it too much. Any bits that have gone through and bubbles from the washing up liquid, I will get them out with my spoon. My trusty spoon. So here is my liquid in my jar.
Gently pour some of the methylated spirits or other alcohol down the inside of the jar.
Oh yes, this bit I've got to be extremely careful, very, very careful indeed. So I get my methylated spirits, and I'm going to carefully, if I can get the lid off this, you'll definitely need quite a clever adult to get the lid off one of these, because I can't do it. So kids can't open them, but oh no, I've managed it. Now I'm just going to pour some, about the same amount as I've got in there already. I'm going to pour some carefully down the side.
Don't stir it, you should see 2 different layers form.
Ooh, yeah, I like the different colours. The purple dye they put in methylated spirits makes this look really... Well, how cool is that?
It does look pretty.
Put the lid back on. Don't want any of those nasty fumes escaping. And then we'll wait for about, what was it, Theo?
For 20 minutes.
20 minutes? Oh, that's ages.
Now go and do something else, and when you get back, you should find that stringy or fluffy white stuff has appeared in the top layer.
I can definitely see something.
This is DNA. If you want, you can try and fish some out using a cocktail stick.
I'm going to use this hook that I made using one of those wire twirly-whirly things from a pack of sandwich bags. Wow, it's a lot easier to see when you poke it with something. You've got this whole mass of floating, stringy, fluffy stuff. Pull some out. Kind of blobs together when you take it out of the alcohol. It's just forming this kind of blob in the loop. Looks really weird. So yeah, apparently DNA looks a bit like cotton wool. So I guess the reason why it kind of looks a bit like cotton wool is that all the DNA strands clump together and then kind of get tangled up as they come out of the water and into the alcohol. It's kind of cool that I've managed to see DNA just using stuff that I had at home. But actually DNA can't really do anything interesting when you can see it. The interesting stuff that DNA does and that happens to DNA all happens when it's dissolved in water. And when it's dissolved in water, it's invisible. To see it, we had to bring it out of solution.
Scientists who work with DNA often do the same basic thing that we just did when they want to store some pure DNA, using alcohol to take DNA out of a solution and store it in a pure form. Although they will normally be working with a much smaller amount of DNA in the bottom of a little tiny plastic tube. Well, little tiny for them. It would be big enough to... Anyway, don't worry about me.
Thanks for watching our video. If you do try the experiment yourself, why not post a picture of your results on Theo's Facebook page or send an email to tinytheo@outlook.com.
Yes, please feel free to get in touch with any questions or suggestions for things you'd like to see in the future. Like and subscribe to see more. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter too. I think that's all for now. Bye!
See you next time. Okay, Theo, you wanted to go and feed the ducks now, didn't you?